everyone and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all well.
Hola.
Hola. That's like your signature hello now. I'm joined today with Justin. We haven't sat down in a while.
No, a long time.
It feels like it's been ages. So today we're going to be talking all about the different aspects of living in Singapore and the cost of living. Now Singapore is actually up there in the top 20 most expensive cities to live in the world.
And a lot of people, I think it's a bit of a misconception because everyone says, oh, isn't it too expensive to live there?
I think that's everyone's first impression of Singapore is, oh my God, it's so expensive. It is an expensive city, but if you know how to spend your money and where to spend it, it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be. Before
we get started, I just want to plug my book. If you don't know already, I wrote an ebook all about Singapore. It's a guide to Singapore as an inside outsider. It is called The S Word. I will put it somewhere, probably here. Yeah, it basically covers everything you need to know before moving to, visiting, relocating to Singapore. It's honestly the guide that I wish we had had
all the details
before Singapore, because it would have been so helpful. So everything I've learned in almost 5 years of living here, as well as cost of living in more detail, and all my favourite spots around the island. So I will leave it in the top line of the description box if you want to go check that out for yourselves. I would really love you to. But without further ado,
let's get cracking.
Let's talk about money. So the first point we're going to talk about, and probably your biggest expense in Singapore, is rent.
Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to rent, it depends on what kind of apartment you're looking for.
And how you want to live.
So if you want to live frugally, the best option for you is to rent a HDB apartment.
Shared apartment.
A shared apartment. Live as the majority of the locals do in HDBs. They're super cost efficient. Generally really big spaces as well. Nice, yeah. And obviously if you share an apartment with roommates, you're going to reduce your rent costs significantly. Could be from $700, probably less, maybe a bit less.
600 to 700 per month.
Yeah, and then you've got your bills on top of that.
Yeah.
And now as you work your way up, you might want to look at renting a condo. So for example, we shared a condo with a few different housemates for a few years here. In our rented accommodation in a condo with other housemates, we were paying around $1,500 to $1,900 per month just for a room. And one of the rooms was tiny.
Yeah, one of the rooms was a box room. It was really small.
But what you're basically paying for is all the amenities. So the gym that comes with the condo apartment, the swimming pools, all the fancy things like that. That's basically what you're paying for. And then obviously the cost of your condo depends on the location, how new the condo is, how close it is in proximity to an MRT. All these factors kind of play into it as well.
The closer it is to an MRT, typically the more expensive it will be.
And obviously the closer you are to the city, the more you'll be paying as well. I've actually gone into loads more detail about the cost of renting in Singapore, as well as all the most popular neighbourhoods to stay in Singapore. So if you want more help on that, do go check out that ebook as well.
Yeah. If you're looking to live on your own, don't want to share, for a 1-bedroom apartment or condo, they're similar. So it's anything from $2,000 per month upwards.
Right, let's talk public transport. One of our favourite topics.
Yeah.
We love the public transport in Singapore.
Yeah.
Not only is it super efficient and reliable.
Prompt.
Clean. And clean. Oh, so clean. It's incredibly well priced in comparison to other cities in the world, especially Western cities. I usually top up my EasyLink card, $10 a week. That usually gets me where it needs to, which is like £5-6 a week. Incredibly cheap. So you can use it to hop on and off of buses and MRTs. And when it comes to taxis are also incredibly well priced, again in comparison to somewhere like London. The prices definitely have increased since we've lived here.
Definitely.
We're seeing them like slowly go up. I think when we first moved here, we were paying around like $5 every trip we took, and we couldn't believe how cheap it was.
We were amazed.
Yeah.
But now they're slowly
increasing. I mean, it is still really
relatively
well priced.
Relative to say Australia, UK, America.
Yeah. If you're from any of those places and you come here and you get a taxi, you will be shocked.
Yeah.
And then obviously driving, we've just filmed a whole video about driving in Singapore, so I'll link it up here in the iCards if you want to get some understanding of how much it actually costs to drive and own a car in Singapore. It is pretty outrageous.
It's outrageous,
Yeah, it's unlikely that you will move here and be able to get a car, and I wouldn't recommend it anyway. I think public transport here is incredible.
So one of the big things in Singapore is food.
Yes, bring your appetite.
bring your appetite, yeah. Food is reasonably priced.
Yeah, so if we're talking about local hawker food,
Yeah.
so affordable.
So affordable.
You're talking $5 or less for a full meal.
Yep.
An absolutely delicious meal. Any Asian cuisine that you could possibly think of, they will have it. So yeah, like you, for example, you eat at hawker centre 3 times a day. And how much do you think you spend on average per day?
If I was to have 3 meals a day, maybe less than $10
That is insane.
for the day.
Yeah. Where else are you going to be able to do that? When it comes to dining out, like properly in restaurants, that's when it starts to get a little bit pricier.
Gets expensive.
Yeah, you're looking at like normal city prices really. I would say from $12 upwards for a dish. If you're going to more fancier places in Singapore, you're probably looking at $25 and upwards for a main meal.
And one thing we've found that is expensive is pasta.
Pasta is so expensive here. We have no idea why.
Yeah.
Pasta, whenever you're eating out, pasta is always the most expensive dish.
Yeah.
And also when it comes to ice cream in supermarkets, ice cream is so expensive.
Ridiculous.
We can never afford to buy ice cream. There's definitely ways that you can spend less on food in Singapore. So if you're dining out every night, obviously it's going to all add up. But if you eat local hawker food, I mean, it's going to save you a lot of money.
Yeah.
When it comes to the price of alcohol, alcohol is incredibly expensive in Singapore. A lot of expats come here and they can't believe how expensive it is, and it also means that your nights out aren't as frequent because you almost can't afford to keep going out at that rate. So drink-wise, how much does a beer cost?
If you was to buy a pint in the city,
Yeah.
you're talking $14 minimum for a bottle of beer.
Yeah, probably around $14. And then if you're talking about wine, you're usually in the 20s, so maybe
But you got plus
$20
service
for a glass of
charge,
wine.
plus tax on that, so it's plus 17%.
probably around £10, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is like London prices. No, you can get...
That's expensive for London.
Do you think... Because beers in London are really expensive now.
Not £10 a pint.
No, they're about £5.
They're about £10 a go here.
Yeah, so okay, so a pint is roughly around £10.
Because that $14 was for a bottle.
Yeah.
That's not a pint.
So yes, but beer in hawker centres is a lot cheaper. So that's a little trick if you want to maybe like pre-drink or something. Go to the local hawker centre, you can get a bunch of beers. Yeah, just be prepared to know that alcohol is expensive here. Moving on to groceries.
There's many different shops to purchase your groceries from.
Love the Singaporean accent there. Yes, there are a few different supermarkets in Singapore. Here's a quick guide to supermarkets in Singapore. Places like FairPrice and Giant. What's the other one? Sheng Siong?
Yeah.
They are really reasonably priced there. FairPrice is where we go to get all our groceries generally, and the produce there is a lot cheaper than somewhere like cold storage. So cold storage is your kind of top tier supermarket in terms of it's like one of the most expensive, as well as
Waitrose of.
Yeah, it's like Marks and Spencer's level probably.
Yeah.
So we never buy veg there because it's just like usually like double, triple the price of FairPrice.
Well,
I have no idea why. Yeah, you go in there and you're just like, whoa. $12 for strawberries. I cannot do that. But the great thing about cold storage is that they hold a lot of Western food, don't they?
Yeah.
So a lot of expats like to go there to get their home comfort foods. They have a lot of things from the UK, that kind of thing. But generally, I would advise that you shop in FairPrice. It's always so much...
or Giant. Giant's always...
Or Giant.
They're bigger ones.
And then if you want like fresh produce and you want to shop like the locals do, then you can head for the wet markets as well. So that's where you get your fresh fish and vegetables and meat. I think prices are generally a lot better, but
that will be the best price.
Yeah, you've got to really get in there, hands on, and compete with the aunties to get
up early
to shop. So there's a few different options there.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk internet. I think we pay around $50 a month for our internet subscription.
There's different packages, but a good package would be around $50 a month.
Yeah, and one thing to note is that the internet speed in Singapore is super impressive.
It's quick,
especially if you're coming from Australia. You're gonna be like, whoa.
Be amazed.
Yeah, it's really fast and efficient, which is always great. So another monthly expense of ours is a VPN subscription. Now, we went our first few years, didn't we?
3 years.
3 years, 3 whole years without having a VPN.
Yeah.
I don't know what we were thinking.
Yeah.
So fast forward to now, we've been using a VPN for the last couple of years and it is an absolute game changer.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know what a VPN is, it's a virtual private network.
So a VPN allows you to browse the internet privately. So if
Yeah.
you've got confidential emails, things like this, that you need to do in a public space, as well as allows you to view websites that may be blocked outside of your home country.
Exactly.
For example, some of the TV shows in the UK, if you try to log in Singapore,
It won't let you.
it doesn't allow access. So we use the VPN to watch
Everything.
everything.
We are
yeah.
complete TV addicts.
Yeah.
Like, the UK TV shows are actually great. So
in our eyes.
In our eyes.
Yeah.
So it allows us to binge watch all our shows from back home. And I work a lot in cafes as well. So whenever
Yeah.
I'm in cafes, I make sure that I use a VPN so that all of my work is secure. And I don't get hacked and things like that. It's just super handy. If you're an expat, I highly recommend that you get yourself a VPN. So if you guys are interested in getting one for yourselves, we actually use HMA VPN. If you would like to download it for yourself, there is a link down below. You can go check it out and get 20% off your 1 year subscription.
We've actually used it in many countries as well. So
Yeah, we use it every time we travel now.
everywhere we go.
And I've had so many of you guys ask me on Instagram, like, how do you watch your shows back home? And you've all downloaded HMA as well,
Yeah.
because it's just like an expat essential.
It's just easy.
So easy. In terms of attractions and things like that over Singapore, there's so many things that are free, aren't there?
Yeah.
So Botanic Gardens, my favourite gardens in the world, completely free of charge. I mean, you have to pay $5 if you want to go into the orchid garden, but apart from that, it is absolutely huge.
Yeah.
And it's all free.
So you'll see monitor lizards at Botanic Gardens.
You see all the wildlife.
McRitchie Nature Walk, is that what it's called?
All the trail walks are free.
Trail walks are
Yeah.
free.
And then you've got Gardens by the Bay light
Free.
show in the evening, Bohemian Rhapsody show, completely free of charge.
Yeah.
Gardens by the Bay is also free, but you have to pay if you want to go into things like the Cloud Domes and the Floral Fantasy. But there's so many
The
things.
Marina Bay projection show.
Marina Bay light show. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Projection show.
Yeah.
Completely free
Yeah.
of charge as well. So yeah, there's so
There's
many
loads,
things
there's
to
loads
do
to do,
and
yeah.
see, and you won't necessarily have to pay for them. So that is amazing. Okay, so the last point we're going to talk about is gym memberships. Now, we don't have gym memberships purely for the fact that we live in a condo and our condo has a gym downstairs.
Yeah.
Now, this is the amazing thing. If you are going to live in a condo, you usually have all the amenities already. So a gym, a swimming
Yeah.
pool, and
The
That's
gym
great.
will be basic though.
the gym most likely will be basic.
So
yeah.
if you're used to going to
A real proper gym.
an actual gym,
Yeah.
it's probably not gonna
I'm
suffice.
starting to contemplate, well, we both are, aren't we? Whether we should invest in a gym membership, just
Yeah.
because I feel like when you're doing the same thing over and over with the same
You're
equipment,
limited to what you can do.
you're limited. So we're contemplating it. I think a gym membership ranges between
Ballpark.
$200 to $300.
A month.
Yeah, a month. Now, don't quote me on that, but I would love you guys, if you are members of gyms in Singapore, please do comment down below and let us
Yeah.
know how much you pay and which gym, because we are actually in
Yeah.
the market. We want to check out one for ourselves.
But if you are moving here, also look at the gym. If you have a gym membership back in your home country,
Yeah,
you might be able to use
Yeah.
the gyms here based on your membership.
exactly. And in terms of gym classes, there's a few that I go to during the week. On average, per gym class, you're looking at around $30. So still quite pricey.
Yeah.
They obviously have like bundle deals and things like that, but generally exercise classes in Singapore are quite pricey.
And adding on to that, any activity you want to do, whether you want to play, I don't know, go archery, do
Football,
training, do
Go
gymnastics, it's all around $30 starting price.
it is
isn't
quite pricey,
for a
yeah.
few hours, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
quite expensive.
But there's
Relative.
amazing scenery out there. I've been running a lot lately outside, so you can run everywhere. I mean, I recommend that you run in the evening because you will die during the day because it's so hot and humid. But yeah, outdoor activities can be a little bit of a struggle. So if you can find yourself like an air-conditioned gym to work out, it's probably your best bet. All right, guys, I think we've touched on all the essential aspects to do with the cost of living in Singapore. I really hope that you found this video helpful. Do be sure to give it a big thumbs up if you did, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more from us. We create loads of videos about living in Singapore, so you can go check those out.
And if you're currently living in Singapore, whether you're local or a foreigner,
yeah,
what are your thoughts on the cost of living here compared to where you have been elsewhere in the world?
Yeah, we'd be really interested to know. So do be sure to leave a comment below.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching as always, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!